3-point attempts at 2-point attempts. Yung pagkakaiba ng Houston this year doon sa mga nakaraang, sinasabi nga nila party na jump shooting team ng Golden State. Yung Golden State meron pa rin dating Sasha Pachulia, meron pa rin Javel McGee, and to some extent meron pa rin KD na may rim protectors. Yung Houston talagang 6'6 and below,
talagang puro 3 and D yung kinuha nila, nakapalibot lang kay Harden ngayon Talagang papanindigan na nila yung identity nila na talagang 3 points lang tayo, tsaka depensa kasi di masyado nagagamit si Capela pag playoffs din lalo na pag Warriors yung kalaban, inuupo lang din So, siguro sinanay na nila yung sarili nila na regular season pa lang, paghanda na natin na small ball na tayo. Sa tingin ko, ganun diskarte na lang ngayong season, ngayong playoffs.
May kaba pa ba against OKC or kumpiyansa na ba na wala na? Ano na to? Houston na to until the second round?
Si Chris Paul galing ng Houston, so alam ko magaling talaga si Chris Paul. Kaya lang, sa tingin ko, yung OKC team okay sila pero nag-overachieve na sila na nakapasok ng playoffs.
Boundary na, no?
Boundary. Wala problema sa OKC. Bata pa sila masyado.
Yeah.
Pero Leo, si Chris Paul mismo, after nung Game 2 loss, sa interview niya, sinabi na niya, it's on him. Sinasabi niya, he's got to show up yan. Kailangan siya talagang, maganda naman yung Game 1 niya, yung Game 2 niya, both sumatsad yung numbers. Dahil nga sa familiarity niya, sa team mo, sa Houston Rockets, di ba nakadagdag ng konting teka nga, baka nga, nagro-ropa daw, baka may ilalabas pa, baka may mahugot pa. Anong dadali ni Chris Paul dyan?
Sa tingin ko, malatagdag yung assist niya kasi 2 assists lang siya ng Game 2 Dalawa lang yung assist niya. Tapos, syempre, di naman papatalo basta-basta yan. Kilala naman natin sa Chris Paul, talagang competitive din yan. Tsaka, ayun, technically, ngayon pa lang yung home nila
Actually,
babawi nila sa 3 and 4.
Isa pang, yung Russell Westbrook, I think dapat babalik siya Game 3 pero dahil nag 2-0.
Huwag na pilitin.
Lalo yung pahinga kasi papahinga lang yung quad. May balita, mas hindi mo nalalaro ng Game 3 yan.
Wala, naka-announce na. Wala siya Game 3 and I think pag syempre 3-0, meron pa siyang baka mas merong pagkakataon para magpahinga pa siya. At least
hanggat hindi matalo yung Houston sa first round, hindi pa laruin si Westbrook. I mean, if you're just wanting to keep it safe, yes. Nanalo, huwag pa muna. Hanggat kayang ipanalo ni Harden at the rest of the team, maybe just stash him until the second round.
Actually, yung Game 2 hindi si Harden yung magaling So yun yung difference between the previous mga roster ng Houston tsaka yung ngayon. Hindi sila nagre-rely kay Harden lang. May mga step up na naasahan din niya.
So kung maglalabas ng walis yung Rockets, yung makakalaban sa second round, LA Portland, di ba? Dahil 4-5 to So sa 1-8. Gaano kahaba mo gusto umabot yung series na para makapagpahinga pa si Westbrook?
9 games.
Magpulbiyan na sila. Ito yung important na babawasan na ng mga players ayaw natin ng injury. Pagka naman siyempre nananalo yung team natin, ayaw natin pinasasaktan sa kabila. Kaya lang, magpapagod na lang muna sila. Wala lang masaktan.
PJ Tucker fanboy ako
Sneakerhead ka kasi. Dahil sa laro din.
Sir Leo, maraming salamat for joining us. President of the Utah Jazz Filipino Fans Association from day one. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Paulo Del Rosario.
Hello guys, thanks for having me and the entire organization here. I'm glad to see na kompleto tayong lahat. All the Jazz fans out there.
Ito tingnan mo lang yung Jazz Magu. After i-refresh nung Last Dance yung pagkapahiya nila kay Michael Jordan. Yung kapalit nun for Pau, he gets to cheer for Jordan Clarkson. He gets to the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell turns into an NBA superstar, scores his career high in the playoffs.
57?
Yup. And now, you're 2-1 against the Denver Nuggets. Kahit na tulog yung Nuggets for the second half of that game, tinalo nyo pa rin ng maayos-ayos. Parang,
ano nangyari sa Nuggets?
Alam hindi ko alam. Parang natin kay Paolo. Pao, is this one of the best seasons as a Utah fan?
I don't know kung best season kasi that will depend on what happens in the second round, diba? Kasi this could all change kung na-sweep kami sa second round. But in terms of playoff performances in the past 3 or 4 years, even from the time of starting the Quinn Snyder time, so Gordon Hayward, the year that he became an All-Star and all that. Siguro this is probably one of the more surprising performances ng Utah. Kasi remember, Utah aren't even complete. They're starting Juwan Morgan from time to time, who is basically a G League player. 20 games played in the entire season. They don't have Bojan Bogdanovic, who's one of the hottest 3-point shooters in the entire league. And they were without Mike Conley, who was proving to us that if you want to play a good NBA basketball game, you need to become a father. The father of 3 energy yun, okay?
Ilinaw muna natin before Paolo continues. Kasi last week, Carlo, iniisip natin kailan makakabalik yung Mike Conley because it was supposed to be a 10-day quarantine. Ang ginawa pala ng NBA, as was reported, pinagkikwento natin madaling araw, Carlo, na umuwi nga si Conley dahil nanganak yung misis. He was there for the birth of his son, di ba? Tama ba? Yeah. And then, habang nandun siya, araw-araw siya tinetest. Kaya pagbalik niya, dun sa bubble, 4 na araw lang siya nag-quarantine ulit. And then test pa rin araw-araw. That's why pinayagan na maglaro. Hindi na 10 days because hindi siya nagpunta sa strip club katulad niya. Nagpunta talaga
Hindi siya nag-wing.
Hindi siya nag chicken wings. Talagang
Sa hospital
nagpunta
talaga siya.
nasa hospital, di ba? Kaya pala, and then every day, and then syempre, may bagong panganak ka, hindi ka naman talaga maglalabas. You don't take any stupid chance. May sanggol ka nga dun, hindi ka pwede kung maglalabas ka. So it was really a clean, alam ng NBA nasan siya every single minute of every single day. That's why 4 days lang quarantine niya. I just wanted to point that out because me and Carlo were both wondering about that last week.
And were you surprised that he played that well? I mean, it's not supposed to be easy to just ease your way back into playoff basketball.
Well, for me kasi, watching the Jazz entire season, we haven't seen, honestly, yung Memphis Mike Conley, yung borderline all-star Mike Conley, and I think this is basically the return to averages of Mike Conley being as good as he is. And sa totoo lang, this is the first time he's playing with players like what Utah have right now. For the entirety of his career, he's had a Gasol to throw the ball to, and he doesn't really jump. And now you have a rim threat of Rudy Gobert. He's never had a backcourt mate as dynamic as Donovan Mitchell in his entire career. So he had to basically learn how to play the whole game again with a whole new team, a whole new system. So I think this is just him returning to what we all know in terms of yung Memphis Mike Conley, and it's great that it's coming out sa Utah Jazz. And in the sense now that so bumalik siya sa bubble and he suddenly started playing well. He was playing well in the bubble in general. Nag-break out siya ng 5 araw. So basically, if you had a team that was already a bit tired because of going through the entire slog of the playoffs of the first 2 games, all the adjustments and all that, you have a fresh player who's a borderline all-star coming into the team. Siyempre, it's gonna be a boost for you no matter what.
But before we talk about
you know what my favorite thing about Mike Conley? I don't know if it's still true to today. Buong NBA ka rin yan, ganun wala pa rin technical foul yan, di ba?
Yes, ganun, yeah,
Di ba? Well, he's that kind of player, talagang focus lang.
Nice guy, too nice maybe.
how much fun is it for you to be cheering for Jordan Clarkson as a Filipino and as a Utah Jazz fan? Because you're a fan on both ends.
Yeah.
And he's in your team, and he's doing great as a 6-man.
Yeah, I think I tweeted this out as soon as he was traded. Welcoming all of the Filipinos into the Jazz bandwagon. So from a number of 2, we're now a number of 5 siguro or 6. And looking at si Jordan Clarkson, it's nice to see him in a competitive team again. Because let's be fair, when he was still in Cleveland, he was getting the numbers, but it wasn't necessarily competitive basketball at all. So it's nice to see him go back and play meaningful minutes. Now I think what's unique to him right now in terms of his career so far, what he's shown and what he's doing with the Utah Jazz, is that he's showing us that he's an effective playoff player. He hasn't been that type of player throughout his career in the playoffs. We know he can get buckets, but can you do it in the playoffs when everyone's keying in on you? And he's the guy leading the second unit in scoring especially. And he's had, prior to today, I think, he had career highs in games 1 and games 2 sa playoffs. So seeing what Jordan Clarkson is doing right now in terms of the type of role against the type of opposition that he has now, it's a thrill, honestly. You know he's Pinoy because the way that he finds his shots, no matter what, tira lang ng tira, like the confidence is always there. You listen to the comments. The favorite line of the commentators right now is Jordan Clarkson has never met a shot he did not like. That is so Pinoy. Ay, Pinoy na Pinoy yan. Okay? Tira lang, tira. Go. So, I mean, like, go for it. I mean, if you're interested to see how Jordan Clarkson is doing, and if anyone's questioning how Pinoy he is, just watch him play. Sobrang Pinoy yung laro niya.
Pero ngayon yung kalaban Denver, after getting embarrassed like that, ano nakikita mong bounce back na ito? This is a team that has been good, not just this season, the last couple of seasons, maybe even the last 3 seasons. They've been growing. We see them every season, parang pasolid na pasolid. Nakabalik pa ngayon si Jamal Murray. What do you expect from that squad facing Utah in Game 4?
So I'm surprised actually in Game 2 and Game 3 kasi to say that it would be blowouts. I was expecting siguro over. I mean, like our last 2 games before these 2 were overtime, right? So the first game and then the last game of the bubble. And I think Denver has a lot more to show. I'm not expecting another blowout. I'm assuming they're gonna figure out yung kasi sa totoo lang, watch how the Jazz execute yung horn set nila. Because they ran at one point they ran the same play 4 times and they scored 4 3-pointers in a row in Game 2. So it's crazy how many different looks Denver throws at yung pick and roll defense, but then they still can't do it. They're eventually gonna figure it out. They're great. They're great NBA players. Jokic at one point you were considering him as an MVP candidate. Jamal Murray, he can crack on. He's a good coach. They're gonna figure it out. And will they figure it out to the point that they will stop what Utah is doing now? That we'll find out Game 4. Game 2 they over-adjusted. They were double teaming Donovan Mitchell because he dropped 57 on them. So,
biglang takot
natakot sila. And who wouldn't be, diba? But then he still dropped 30 of them. 21 of them came in the third quarter when they said that, okay, everyone else is killing us, so let's ease off on Donovan Mitchell. Then boom, he scored 21. And now Mike Conley's back, so there's a new problem. Game 4, backs against the wall. I think Denver's going to fight. I wouldn't be surprised if they even the series. And I think it's a really important one for Utah kasi sa totoo, you basically killed the fight in Game 5. So really interesting Game 4. I'm expecting a fight.
And there's going to be another big
3 games in Game 4. Game 4 is going to be the primetime game. It's going to be Monday, Manila time, 9 a.m. Which means, yun yung primetime Sunday game. You don't really get that if you're Utah and Denver. Yung Clippers, Dallas will be the 3:30 a.m. game. Yung Boston, Philadelphia will be the 1 a.m. game. And then Toronto, Brooklyn, yung 6:30. Sila yung primetime and under the bright lights, no crowd there. But every single NBA player knows, if you play on a Sunday night, ibang level dapat pakita mo. Di ba? Lalo na wala pang football. Without football there, without Sunday night football yan, alam mong all eyes, all sports fans' eyes will be on you. Di ba? Yeah.
At may ticket kami ni Paolo.
Yes, but I will be there, so look for us. Pati kayo makikita dito sa dilim yung mga sila Steve Ballmer, di ba? Nasa dilim yung Pilipinas.
Jersey kami pareho, para kay
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it is a thrill. It will be my second time in the bubble, so let's see. I was at the Denver game in overtime in the last bubble game, so it's fun. Pero to your point, Magu, feeling ko talaga si Jokic will have a good bounce back game. He hasn't had a bad series. It's just that they're treating him like Steve Nash, the Utah Jazz, in the sense that they're making him a scorer and not a playmaker. Tignan mo yung assist numbers niya, sobrang baba compared to what he normally does. And he's scoring, but then, wala eh. I mean, like, if your big man's the only one who's scoring for you, and Jamal Murray he's only had one good game, syempre kawawa kayo scoring-wise.
Tapos yung Utah, yung leader in assist the last game was Ingles with 8.
Mm-hmm.
Ano nangyari yun?
Tito basketball yan eh. I mean, like, look, designated shooter yun eh. Hindi naman dapat taga-swing yun eh, di ba? Yeah, and sobrang, he's such a slow player, like, if you watch him. Okay, here's the problem. If Joe Ingles is blowing by, yes, he's perfect for the Jazz. Yeah. Not athletic, but very technically sound. Yes, perfect for the Jazz. But, yun nga, I think that he is one of the more savvy players out there. Great with great reading the pick and roll, great fake. And I think, if you want to emulate an NBA player, especially when you're in your mid-30s or maybe at your 40s, you can emulate Joe Ingles games. No dunks, all-school play-ups, titira ng pwesa malayo na sobrang bagal ng loyap mo. Tsaka puro gulang, lakas mong chicken. Yeah, gulang lang, oh!
Alam mo, you can uproot Joe Ingles, put him in a Jerry Sloan era. Alam mo, magiging tropa sila ni Jeff Hornacek. They'll be cool.
Yeah, for sure. They'll be in the same lineup. Yeah, I agree. It's that mold of player and sobrang old school. Maybe that's why a lot of people enjoy him. Apart from the fact that he's a trash talker. He gets into the face of everyone. I mean, like from him against Paul George before that was a thing. And then every time right now anyone gets into a fight, he's always there talking crap. He also gets the most technical fouls in the bubble for the Jazz kasi he always talks,
Smack stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Paolo, for joining us. But before we let you go, we gotta know, saan mo nabili yung mic cover? Nahiya naman kami sa'yo, mas maganda pa equipment mo sa amin. May mic cover. Ayun. Ito, yung kasama sa boom. Wala eh. When you go online shopping, you just look for the best deals. Nahiya ako sa'yo, mas maganda. Online shopping sa devil, pare. Na-inspire na ako sa inyo, syempre. I had to make sure I'm all off the scratch.
Pao, thank you again for joining us. I'll see you game 4 of Utah Jazz versus Denver Nuggets. Sana magkatabi tayo dun sa screen para masaya.
Syempre. Alright guys, sige, have a good one.
The president of the Utah Jazz fan club in the Philippines, that was Paolo Del Rosario joining us.
Paano kayo nakapasok doon sa screen? Sa Michelob yan eh, di ba? Or sa team mismo?
May link kami pinuntahan. Si Paolo yung nag-ayos actually. Pero hindi pa.
Sa Utah side?
Oo eh.
Utah side,
And even if you get a ticket, it's actually not guaranteed. Kasi parang they will fill the seats pag napuno na. Hanggang doon lang. I think we have a Clipper fan in the waiting room right now. Papasukin natin ha. Para may kausap naman tayong Clipper fan na hindi si Chuck Araneta. Yun.
Magandang gabi, Sir Ferdinand Arthur. Bayan?
Bitan. Of course, the Clippers just won earlier. They're up 2-1 in their series against the Dallas Mavericks. Ferdinand Arthur Bitan. Tama ba, sir? You're a Clippers fan.
Sir Ferdinand, since day, yung Clipper fan? Ano pa ako? Panang panibig na del Negro. 2012? Nauna today, hamak naman to kay Chuck Araneta.
Pag VDN days, game tayo dyan. So, Sir Ferdinand, kahit na nanalo yung Clippers, mainit na usapan si playoff Paul George.
Oo nga, it's playoff P.
Sa struggles niya ngayong playoff, especially in that game, nahirap talaga makapasok ng tres. Is it frustrating for you na one of your main guys, the second level superstar to Kawhi, hindi gaano makakontribute in this series?
Oo, syempre, bukod sa superstar yan eh. Talagang expected na ko-contribute talaga. May chance na once na mapagod yung core at ganun pa rin yung laro niya, wala talaga, baka masilad kami. Yung laro kanina, Ferdinand, nung umupo na finally, yung second time na lumabas ni Luka Doncic, biglang nag-run etong Dallas. Bago isara ni Kawhi. Pero during that Dallas run, I think bumaba sa 8. 8 na lang yung lamang ng Clippers doon. May konting ka ba bang pumasok sa'yo? May worry ka ba bigla na baka na-inspire sila dahil injured yung superstar? Hindi, wala eh. Kasi tiwala talaga ako sa Clippers. Talagang, kumbaga, yamado na sila, wala na si Doncic eh. Nung bumaba sa 8 yun, Kawhi, tres, and then Kawhi yung nilipat sa kaliwa for the slam. That was a 5-0 run. Nung lumipat si Kawhi Leonard sa Clippers, sabi mo nga, hindi ka naman exclusively Kawhi fan, talagang Clipper fan ka. Clippers, Ito ba yung na-envision mo, yung ganitong closer, yung may ganitong may killer instinct, may mama mentality? Ito yung talagang, ito na, dumating na yung magdadala sa Clippers sa Promised Land. We gotta admit, matagal lang sinasabi, and it's factual naman na talagang parang malas talaga yung Clippers, hindi talaga makausad past the second round, di ba? Oo, nung pagpasok ni Kawhi, mas natuwa ako sa pagpasok ni Kawhi eh. Kumpara kay Paul George. Kasi nga yung instinct talaga ni Kawhi, kumbaga, ang main goal niya, kampiyonato eh, kahit walang personal awards, talagang gusto niya championship sa under his name. So, komportable ka sa, ano tawag doon, Carlo? Load management na, pagka-regular season. Kasi Kawhi, kahit nung Toronto, ginawa niya yan, di ba? Load management, okay lang sa'yo, no problem? Oo, okay lang kasi makikita mo naman kahit nagpapahinga, pagbalik niya, parang, ano lang, parang normal lang na araw-araw naglalaro eh.
Sabi dito ni Carlo Reyes nag-comment, sabi niya overconfident daw yung Clippers. Ano yung sagot mo dyan, sir?
Hindi. Talagang isa to sa siguro second to na lineup na tiwala ako na aabot na to ng finals.
Final dati.
Yung pinakamasakit yun, 2015 eh.
Yung sila Blake, sila 63.
3-1 loss sa Houston.
Kanila na dapat yan.
Kaya lang wala na Josh Smith kami nun eh.
Sir Ferdinand, bago ko namin bitawan, any greetings sa mga kapwa LA Clipper fans mo dito sa Pinas?
Yun, shoutout ko muna yung friend ko sa'yo, si Alexis. Though Paul George fan siya, kaya siya naging Clippers ngayon. Ating na to this year. Sa friend ko naman na si Sai.
Advance yung pa-Jollibee mo sa akin.
May manok.
Mas lumalakas pa loob mo, Ferdinand, na kahit nandiyan dyan yung Lakers, kahit nandiyan dyan yung Milwaukee, a lot of experts, yung mga, lalo sa States, Clippers ang talagang tinitignan na magpa-finals at magcha-champion this year. Pampalakas loob ba sa yan or baka lalo nga
Kasi sa nag-transfer itong 3 games, hindi na ako kinakabahan sa Lakers, sa Portland. Sa Jazz talaga ako kinakabahan eh. Kumbaga, sila yung pinakabubulat sa Clippers, hindi umabot ng finals eh.
Sana pala pinag-abot namin kayo ni Paolo Del Rosario.
Nakikinig ako sa kanya kanina.
Ang taas ng kumpiyansa ng Utah Jazz. Although padihado si Paolo ng konti, hindi, magtututo yan. Pero alam mo kumpiyansa yung bata.
Ano lang yan, kumbaga, simpleng, hindi mo yapak, humble lang. Pero, feeling ko, Clippers dyan sa West Finals eh.
Sir Ferdinand, Arthur Vitan, maraming salamat and all the best to your Clippers. Pero medyo lang kasi Dallas yung kalaban nila. Salamat mo.
Okay po, sige po.
Minomonitor mo ba kung may lumabas ng balita kay Luka? Wala pa no?
Hindi, para lang malinaw magawa. As a Dallas fan, I don't know if this has been done before. Pero kung kailangan niya po ng uncle, willing ako i-donate yun sa akin.
sabi naman niya kanina umaga, it's not that big a deal dahil yung left daw. Yung problema niya dati yung kanan.
Oo. Mild sprain.
Dalawa na yung differential, paano yun?
Hindi, mild sprain lang naman daw. Yung sa akin walang sprain eh. Malit lang ng konti sa paa niya.
konti lang. Kung donate ng uncle, pwede ba yan?
Willing lang naman siya. Uncle transplant surgery.
Malulungkot yung auntie mo, ano ka ba? Labit ka kay abay. Pag dinonate mo yung uncle mo. Yun, sabi ni Ariel, Pernia, siguro kapag ito, teka-hanap tayong balita. Cleared na daw eh, hanap natin.
Cleared naman yan. Nalaro yan. Teka, papasok pa tayo. Gusto ko makakausap ng Philadelphia fan.
Baka naiiya ngayon eh, dahil wala na si Simmons.
Yun yung masarap kausap eh. Philly fan at saka kung meron Miami or Indiana fan.
Boston, ayahin kaya natin si Senator Sandy. O si Direk Rafi, nag-atake, no?
Itong si George Javier, ano yan eh, die hard Mavs yan, alam ko. Kaya tingin niya, Luka Magic pa rin. Diyan, Carlos Lumbre.
Magandang gabi, sirs.
Good evening.
Hello po. Good evening po.
Favorite team natin, sirs.
Miami po.
Yan!
Jimmy Butler, gaano ka kasaya that he is a part of the team that you're cheering for?
Sobrang laki po kasi ng contribution niya sa team. Kasi po in-establish niya yung sarili niya as grabe talagang pinatunayan niya na two-way player siya. He's not just scorer. Ayan no, he's defending po. And agad na po ng pensang pinapakita niya.
Speaking of depensa, yung madalas pag-usapan nung regular season pa bago mag-quarantine hanggang nung pumasok sa bubble, yung nemesis daw. TJ Warren, hindi pa pinapaporma, natuwa ka ba doon?
Opo, kasi, pero, medyo may kaba kasi, hindi masyadong nakaporma yung TJ Warren. Yung Oladipo naman ang gumagawa.
Game 1, limited minutes, 5 points lang yata si Oladipo, pero naka-20 may gitna nung game 2.
Hindi na Oladipo.
So 2-0, lamang ang Heat. Everyone naman was in agreement that among the lower seeded teams, yung Miami talaga yung may pinakamagandang porsyento to be able to score the upset, no? Jimmy Butler has been a player that I've really looked up to kasi ano talaga eh, he's a dog. Alam mo yung pipilitin niya yung buong team na gumaling kasama niya. Yun yung ginadala niya sa team, not just the leadership, not just the big time basketball that he plays, but he will force you to be better. Kung hindi ka gumaling kasama niya, hindi ka niya gusto kakampi. Parang ganun kasimple si Jimmy Butler. Tingin mo, Bien, ano yung pwedeng gawin pa ng Indiana para pahirapan yung Miami?
Huwag na nilang
Real talk.
Mga tanong mo naman, Garlo, pambira.
Nakakabahan ako eh. Lagi positive yung mga game. Di ba? All throughout. Tapos sa huli lang magkakaroon ng run. Yan. Alam mo kasi as a non-Miami and non-Indiana fan, we're expecting, a tight series between the two. Yun yung inaasahan ng mga tao eh. Kasi naghahanap ka nung down to the wire finishes, nung mga game winners. Ang dami ngayon nagiging tambakan from the Lakers to the Clippers series to Denver, Utah, except for game 1. Halos tambakan yung mga laro eh. So everyone was looking at Indiana versus Miami to give them those classic epic first round games na okay naman, maganda na naman yung quality pero yung unang dalawa nga belong to Miami. So para sa'yo, aside from Jimmy Butler, sino pa yung mga players ng Miami na sobrang natutuwa ka sa performance ngayon? Nag-comment na rin ako dito, Stre, yung si Duncan Robinson po talaga yung X-Factor dito eh. And nung game 2, hindi masyadong maganda yung scoring ni Adebayo. Pero it's a good sign for us kasi kahit hindi masyadong maganda yung scoring niya, he's providing intangibles eh.
Yep. Yung leading rebounder siya ngayon, 7.5 rebounds per game in the series. Yung Goran Dragic naman.
Yun naman po, yung leadership, tsaka grabe yung kumpiyansa. As in,
Siyempre, the Dragon yan eh. Pero may kailangan ako itanong eh. Andiyan na yung Butler, andiyan yung Adebayo, siyempre Dragic. And then, kahit yung mga big men ng Miami, pero yung Andre Iguodala, gaano ka-importanting parte yon na makapasok ng isang veteranong Iguodala sa Miami?
siyempre hindi po natin talaga matutumbasan yung experience. Sobrang experiencado na siya. Alam niya how it feels to be in the playoffs, nag-finals MVP. And alam ko na yung maturity niya, yung malaking contribution niya dito sa team na to. Kasi maraming aalalayan po sa team namin eh. Yung core eh. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn. So yun, having Iguodala sa team, malaking bagay po yun.
Just to point it out, Iguodala shooting 71%.
He's from the field, ganun katindi.
Last question, Bien Carlos Lumbre. Sino ang pinakamagaling na Slovenian player in the NBA? Ayusin mo sagot mo.
Kung makatawid ang Heat all the way to the finals, sino kalaban?
Clippers na eh.
Sorry.
Tablato yung mga tropa mo ha. At yung mga tropa mo Lakers, tablato ha.
Hi sa inyo, pero meron real talk. Okay, Bien, maraming salamat for joining
Salamat,
us.
boss.
Thank you.
Ito, nilinaw na ni Kite na Celtic fan siya, kaya pinapasok na natin siya agad-agad. Mukhang kulay mo naman yung suot niya.
Let's talk a little bit more, Esh, about Philadelphia. Celtics. Itong Celtics. Wait, looking good, sirs, ha?
Hello, Vassar.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Boston, everything's going great for Boston right now.
Yes.
If you could nitpick, kung may pupunahin ka pa, what improvements could they still do as they try to sweep the series?
Number 1 siguro, sir, sa tingin ko talaga, itong si Tatum, once, napansin ko lang dito sa bubble so far, once na ma-foul trouble siya early in the game, talagang nawawala siya sa game niya. Example na lang kanina, sa game 3. 3 fouls siya early in the game. And I think nangyari na yun in the past games eh. Tapos, yun, hindi niya masyado makuha yung rhythm niya. Tapos, yun, buti na lang andun si Kemba to
Lead the guys. Tapos aside from that,
Tatum played 32 minutes lang. Shot 6 of 19 from the field to emphasize your point na talagang
Yes, sir.
nasira, nabasag no?
Opo. Kaya yan, parang na-off siya sa rhythm niya and hirap siyang makabalik. Tapos, nadagdagan pa dyan is yung injury ni Hayward. Kasi si Hayward, although siguro hindi na mabalik yung numbers niya before nung injury siya or nasa Utah siya. Pero understandable naman yun kasi tatlo sa Celtics team nag-average ng 20.
Yep.
So yun, diba? Hindi mo na kailangan talagang humingi pa ng masyado from the scoring end kay Hayward. Pero as far as sa bubble,
Ito po, number 2 pick, Golden State Warriors, sino kukunin nyo? Kasi nakikita yung mga prospects mo ngayon eh.
sabihin mo na Lamelo Ball para
Lamelo Ball. Basagan ng prangkisa, ganon. Basagan.
tapos trade nyo na sa Dallas si Steph Curry, tapos magkasama na sila ni Seth, tapos okay na.
Yogi po kami dun. Sino
Ano
kakapalit?
yun?
Sino kakapalit?
Game!
Ano ka, wait na, bumubuo Dallas eh.
Dun yun yung limitasyon nung pagmamahal ko sa Dallas. Steph, sige.
Ngayon na, basta ngayon na manalo.
Kahit as someone na walang pinag-cheer na team talaga, ano yung pinaka gusto mong panoorin ngayong playoffs?
Ako po especially, lalo yung finals sinabangan ko. Yung NBA finals.
Finals na. So bahala na mag-rumble kung sino man, no?
Opo.
Kahit ikaw, baka may mga babatiin ka.
Ano po, yung sa yung Liga po, yung Liga Peter ko, kay Brian, yung mga
Yung mga kaklase ko, batay ka na rin shoutout sa kanila. Yan yung yung mga kaibigan, mga kababata ko. Yun lang po. Okay, class.
Sa mga kaibigan mo, sino pinakamaingay ngayon sa timeline mo? Anong grupo ng fans? Nasa mga Laker fans ba? Sinong pinakamaingay ngayon sa inyo?
Ano po, Laker fans ko siguro may ingay talaga. Kasi nga po, nandun po yung mga ni Lebron eh. Siyempre, isipin mo, sa dami ng Laker fans, samahan mo pa ng mga Lebron loyalists na nagpunta doon.
Tsaka yung mga nang-aasar sa Lakers, mga Laker haters, mga galit kay Lebron.
Na maingay din.
Napakaingay din.
Clyde, maraming salamat for joining us again. Pag nagka-Golden State episode tayo, we will ask you to come back to the show again. Thank you, Clyde. Thank you po. So habang hinihintay natin yung much-awaited guest for the Lakers. Maybe one more before that.
Hindi po si Pochwinyo yun. Si Clyde po yun.
May comment. Sir Allen Villarreal.
Good.
Hello po.
Good evening, Sir Allen.
Hello, kamusta po?
Okay naman po. What team are you cheering for in the playoffs?
Yun. Yan na, kausapin mo yung mga hater. Yung game 1 nung Lakers, hindi nga pinalad kontra sa Blazers, not Dame time. Hindi Damian time, not Dame time. Yung dulo na nung game number 1. Nabasag ba kumpiyansa mo o inisip mo, hindi, panggising lang yan, 1 game lang naman?
Hindi naman anong, impressive na first game. First game pa lang, best of 7 pa lang.
So, ayos lang.
Ayos naman, still have another chance po. Buti po, mga game.
So, pagdating ng game 2, tinampa ka naman, hindi ka naman pwede mag-celebrate masyado. Ikaw nagsabi,
Hindi naman, still have another chance.
Wala balance lang. Yung okay lang naman makareact si Charles Barkley kasi sabi niya pag nanalo ng isa yung Portland.
Oy, andali. Sinabi niya, if Portland wins 1, they sweep. Pero nung pagkatapos ng game 1, hindi siya nagsalita, pero nagwalis siya. Nagwalis lang.
Bali kasi Barkley naman yun eh.
Allen, may question. Sustainable ba na yung atake ng Lakers is mostly just LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
Sila, game plan sila eh. Kay Coach Frank, nabigyan sila kumpiyansa yun. Wag yung lose effort, dapat nila yung palit sila. First game off-air sila, nakabawi sila.
Ako doon ako pinakabahan that at some point, you will have to get something, substantial amount of contribution from someone else.
Yun nga, game 1, itong triple-double si LeBron. Game 2, kita mo gano'n ka-agresibo yung AD right from the get-go. And si LeBron nakita rin kaya I was reading this interview of Anthony Davis. Sabi nga niya, hindi sila nag-usap ni LeBron. Siguro naramdaman lang daw ni LeBron yung aggressiveness niya. Sabi ni AD, he probably looked in my eye, and LeBron took a backseat. Yun naman ang gusto mo sa isang player na katulad ni LeBron, Dahil nga, most gifted athlete, kaya niya mag-adjust di ba?
Nasabi kasi ni LeBron, na dito sa comport yan defending LeBron si Casimelo, si Whiteside, si Nurkic. AD, nakakaala siya alone sa teammates niya.
Ikaw ba, Allen, Laker fan na dati pa o LeBron fan na lumipat sa LA?
Nung bata pa rin nung kay Black Mamba. Alam natin nangyari kay Black Mamba, di ba po?
Yan, sa Lakers talaga.
May mga, yung series na at this point, hindi mo pa rin talaga alam sino yung mananalo?
Itong Lakers Portland. Because, sabi mo nga, it's LeBron and AD based, pero statistically, nakikita mo, the difference between game 1 and 2 was the 3-point shooting. Talagang pagkasama-sama nung shooting ng 5 3-point conversions ng Lakers ng game 1, nagwawala. Ultimo si Snoop Dogg, nagwawala sa social media. Galit na galit kay Danny Green. Kawawa si Danny Green kay Snoop Doon talaga nakatuon yung pansin. Pagdating ng game 2, makita mo 14 3-point mix while limiting Portland to 8 na lang yata after making 13 in the first game. Yun yung isang deciding stat na napapansin mo just from the stats. Pero of course, this is the playoffs, it's a series, it's a best of 7. It's not just about the stats. Yung AD-LeBron combination pa rin na yun ang magiging pinakamalaking hadlang para sa Blazers, coupled with the fact that yung daliri ni Dame.
Yep.
Yun ang pinakaano sa akin. Because if Dame is a no-go or mga 50-60% na lang the rest of the way, yung Game 7 na pangarap natin palagi sa kahit anong series, hindi mangyayari yan. They need Dame to get that series to Game 7 and doon na nga lang magkaka-toss coin.
I have to agree, Magu. Even though I want to be hopeful as a Dallas fan, alam mong may limitasyon pa. May mga kulang pa na pyesa dun sa Dallas. You know, for what they are right now, to be in this position in the playoffs, I think speaks volumes kung gaano talaga kagaling si Coach Carlisle. I mean, matagal na akong bilib kay Coach Carlisle, but it just shows you that as long as you have him as a coach, kahit na dehado ka sa pyesa, kaya mo lumaban. Yun yung kailangan niya. Yeah.
Di ba pinapoint out ni Coach Caloyan na kahit na nasa Detroit pa, they're running the same stats, they're running the same plays. Yun talaga yung, that's what he brings to the table, and if the players buy in, you find success.
Because you're going up against a loaded Clipper squad na you have one of the ultimate dogs in the PBA in Kawhi Leonard. And yung bench mo, you have the 6th and 7th men of the year. Ganun sila kalakas. And still, Dallas picked up a win. Although they lost badly dito sa Game 3, they're giving the Clippers a good challenge. And
Ang pinakamalaking problem, Carlo,
yeah.
maaga yung game nila. Kaya nga 36-hour turnaround lang, hindi kaya 48 yun ako. Dahil they're one of the earlier games in a couple of days time. Ngayon lalabas yung result. Ngayon nagpa-MRI. Kagabi in-X-ray lang si Luka. Ngayon i-MRI now, baka nga nakasalang na yun. And then a little later on, baka by the time the game start, mamaya mga 1 a.m., baka malaman na natin yung results. And yung turnaround, yung quick turnaround, how they can do that. If they were up to 1 or if this was just 1-1, you expect them to sit Luka out. Pero they're down 1 and 2 right now. Yun ang mabigat doon, di ba?
Yep, sabi ni Ryan Hirado, I'm happy if Dallas pushes this to 6 games. Well, I agree. That should be a cause for celebration for them already. Sabi naman ni Rohan De Castro, Dallas needs a big man. Nalilitan yata kay Boban. Pero gets ko. Kailangan mo pa rin talaga na someone alongside Kristaps in the starting unit, maybe just another big body, hopefully a veteran na makakatulong sa kanila. Before this even started, yun din naman yung sinabi ko na kulang din another big man, and Dallas should be a real threat in the playoffs. Ngayon, it's fun to have them there, but you know that they will have trouble moving forward. But you're seeing enough reasons to believe that in the next 3 to 4 years, magkakaroon ng maganda-ganda run itong Dallas.
Definitely. Solid, They're getting built right at this moment. Yun naman yun, you know what, like, even mga taga-Bay Area, Warrior faithful, yung mga solid talagang from day one. Tanungin mo, alin yung favorite Warrior championship? It's still 2015. It's still the one na wala pa si KD.
Yep.
Yun pa rin ang paborito because that was a team that was built in the Bay. Okay, in-enjoy mo yung back-to-back na si KD, pero masarap pa rin yung talagang nabuo mo through your program. Okay, Porzingis came from New York, pero hindi naman siya yung awkward trade na talagang napunta siya doon because of a solid acquisition for him. Para nga ipares talaga siya dito kay Luka.
So Mago, any final thoughts before bitawan natin itong broadcast sa 2020?
It's gonna be another long night for all basketball fans. Lahat tayo sabay-sabay. Well, siguro pwedeng, ginawa natin to last week, na-disgrasya tayo pare-pareho. Milwaukee, Orlando, 1 o'clock, matutulog ka, hindi?
Hindi.
Yan, kasi last week natulog tayo, yun, nanalo tuloy.
Yep, gising ako dyan.
Pero ito yung mabigat Ito na yung turning point sa 3:30, Indiana, Miami. Pag nag-Miami pa rin to, sweep na to.
Diyan tayo pipili ng iidlipan, Mago. Either yung Indiana, Miami,
or Houston, Oklahoma na sa East.
Kasi, 2-0 naman pareho di ba? Even if the team that's down wins, marami pa rin games yan.
Alam niyo po kasi, hirap pagka sa katulad namin ni Carlo, sigurado sa inyo lahat. Mababasa naman natin lahat bukas to Matitignan naman natin bukas yung box score nito. Makakakita tayo ng highlights sa Twitter, sa IG, sa Facebook, kung saan. Pero hindi, sarap panoorin Sarap panoorin Bakit ba?
At saka ang tagal natin na pagkaita ng basketball. So ngayon na meron, sulitin na natin. Kasi after ng playoffs, matagal-tagal po ulit bago bumalik yung NBA.
Ito po, last game for tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. The Lakers and the Blazers tied at 1-1. Gaano ka-healthy si Dame? How do they bounce back if they can? Or magtutuloy-tuloy na ba yung Lakers? Interesting matchup din,
Alright, we are in for another long night of NBA basketball. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng